Hi, everyone. My name is Josephine Esposto, and I'm currently a PhD student in the Department of Environmental and Life Sciences at Trent University in beautiful Peterborough, Ontario. I'm specializing in biochemistry and molecular biology. A little bit about my research. It's both challenging and rewarding. And I'm honestly thrilled today to share some insights into that research, my journey overall, and just some thoughts on how we can foster a more inclusive chemical community or just STEM community in general. So a little bit about what I do. My research focuses on a protein called TDP43, or TAR DNA binding protein of 43 kilodaltons, which is a protein that's linked to neurodegenerative diseases like ALS or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. And specifically, I'm investigating how this protein behaves under certain metal imbalances and how these imbalances might contribute to toxic protein aggregation in cells. So specifically, by using a model organism called Dictyostelium discoideum, I'm able to explore how this protein moves within cells, how it could spread its cytotoxicity to other cell organisms, and how metals can influence the structure and function and how it acts in cells. So ultimately, my goal is to uncover details that could help us better understand the underlying mechanisms of diseases like ALS and possibly point toward new therapeutic approaches for this. So a little bit of somebody from an equity deserving group, or that being myself as a cis woman in STEM. I wanted to take a moment to share a bit about what my journey in science has been like, and just give some insight into what it's like being a cis woman in STEM, especially in Canada specifically. I found that being part of this community can be both inspiring and at times very challenging. Science has often been seen as a meritocracy, but the reality is that historical biases and structural barriers exist that make it quite difficult for some people to access the same opportunities or just feel truly included at all. For me, being part of this group has meant confronting and sort of navigating some of these invisible challenges. Some are visible. In my experience, there have been moments when I felt a strong sense of otherness, as though I had to work a bit harder to prove myself or to justify my presence in academic spaces, even in industry when I was working as an R&D chemist. This might take the form of subtle biases like assumptions about my abilities or my interests because of the background that I had, or the kind of unnatural upbringing I had as well. Um, it also has assumptions about my abilities or my interests, or occasionally facing barriers to certain networks that are more accessible to others, like men, for example. These kinds of experiences can unfortunately affect my confidence or your own confidence, and kind of making you question if you truly belong somewhere. Over time, though, I've definitely learned to recognize these feelings and not let them dictate my overall career journey or my overall path in life. At the same time, my identity has also given me a unique perspective and a strong sense of purpose. In a way, it's strengthened my desire to contribute to science in a way that's not only innovative, but also inclusive. So, for example, right now I sit as the co-president of OTTWIC, or OTWIC, which is Ontario Tech and Trent Working for Inclusivity in Chemistry. And this experience alone, I've reached out to several other exec members. They've helped me navigate my way through this presidency, and it really helps bridge everybody in science and STEM together. And it feels very inclusive, especially joining two very prominent universities in Ontario. So it's felt very empowering and very inclusive. So it's kind of strengthened in a way my desire to contribute to science in a way that's not only just innovative, but it's also inclusive. So because of this, I've learned to lean on the support of those allies and mentors who see my potential and encourage me to pursue these ambitious goals. And that's why I also realized before I applied to my PhD programs was, you surround yourself with a group of people who support you and lift you up and will do anything to help you achieve your goals, and you do the same thing for them. And that's a big part of the reason is why I'm in this PhD program that I'm in now. Finding those mentors, though, who understand and acknowledge the specific challenges faced by underrepresented groups has been absolutely invaluable. They've not only provided guidance on my research, but also helped build this resilience that I now have in everything I do. These experiences have also fueled my passion for advocacy and the push for inclusivity in science. Like I said, being part of OTWIC, I want to be part of a shift where these challenges become less common, where students and researchers from all backgrounds, academic, industry, non-academic, feel welcomed, valued, and just genuinely supported. To that end, I actively seek out and engage in these initiatives, as many as I can, that promote equity and diversity in STEM. For example, like our university's inclusivity programs and community outreach efforts. It's incredibly fulfilling to work with others who are committed to breaking down barriers and building a more inclusive scientific community. It's really, really encouraging. Looking at the larger picture, I think it's crucial for the chemical community specifically and our scientific community at large to acknowledge that representation matters. So when we see a more diverse range of people in academic positions, as research leads or presenting at conferences, it really does truly send a powerful message. It tells students from all backgrounds that they can pursue science with confidence and that their unique perspectives will be valued. Ultimately, the experiences I've had as a member of an equity deserving group and just as a cis woman have shaped not only who I am as a scientist, but also how I think about the future of our field. And by sharing this, I hope to encourage other young scientists who may feel a similar sense of otherness to keep pushing forward, seek out those supportive networks, and know that you too belong in science. And I hope to inspire those who are in positions of influence or authority on either academic or industry to consider how they can foster a more welcoming environment for all. Are you doing enough? Can you be doing more? Reflecting on how I got to this position, there's a few key factors that have helped me along the way for sure. First and foremost, mentorship has been crucial from professors who, have guided me through really complex topics to colleagues who believed in me and my work and helped me find a voice. Having a network of people who genuinely support and challenge me has been a huge driving force, and that's the main reason why I've stayed in academia. I've also learned to seek out opportunities proactively, whether it's presenting at conferences, joining collaborative research, or even connecting with other researchers in my field. Embracing each of these experiences has helped me grow not just as a scientist, but as a scientist communicator and a leader. Looking to the future, there are definitely a few changes I'd love to see in the chemical community and in STEM more broadly. Firstly, I think it's vital to build more mentorship networks specifically for individuals from equity deserving groups. Having a mentor who understands your experiences and can guide you through challenges that are specific to your background can make all the difference. Secondly, I'd really like to see a more active commitment to diversity in hiring. I know we've been really good at that, especially at Trent. They are a very liberal arts university, and it's been wonderful. But seeing this more active commitment to diversity in the hiring and the representation at conferences and seminars, for example, having EDI panels at conferences or having a mandatory EDI section in your conference presentation would be really helpful. It also gets you thinking, even if you don't employ EDI into your research, which I think everybody should, it kind of forces that natural component. It's kind of like a method section in your publication. It's just an extra section. So it's an EDI section that everybody should have. So in another note, seeing yourself reflected in these spaces is really empowering, and it signals to young scientists who are going to be running the rest of our generation that they do have a place here and that we need their help. Finally, I think that incorporating diversity and inclusion training for all scientists can help bring more understanding and empathy within our community, bringing these topics to the forefront of our research and the forefront of our knowledge on topics. We can create a chemical community where everyone, regardless of their background, feels welcome and valued. And I really, really appreciate you for listening, giving me the chance to share my story. I hope this encourages others who might be watching to pursue their passions in science, to advocate for inclusivity, and to hopefully work together towards a more equitable future in our field. So thank you very much.